Okay, well, I'm gonna hope that the stream is back now. I see audio on my end. Let me just check something for you guys. Logging back in the game here. Okay, well, I see the... Alright, are we good now? I think we're finally good. I have no idea what that was, but it, you know, it wouldn't be a, it's not a Friday Night Frontline. Oh, well, you gotta change the audio back. Okay, there we go. And get back to the stream. Wow, sorry about that. Dude, no idea what happened. On my end, all the recordings looked like it was good, but yeah, I double-checked the stream live on YouTube, and sure enough, it was just muted. Like, there was no audio coming from me. So thank you very much for letting me know that, because I would have sat here the whole time just talking to myself, and you guys would have heard nothing. So, all right, let's start over. Late Night Radio, take 2. We have a ton of stuff to go over. I'm actually a little upset that that just happened, because now we're even more behind. So, new character, new event. We got Project Neural Convergence. We're not going to get to this tonight. I can already see it, but gambling on Lewis. I have to do testing on Lewis tonight, and I kind of want to get that done on stream because there's a lot of things going on in her kit. Like, I looked over it again today, and I'm like, man, this is way more confusing than I remember. At her base form, it's not too bad, but like by the time you get to segment 6, like trying to break down how all the pieces work together for min-maxing purposes is like a little crazy. I'm gonna lie, a little crazy. A lot of moving parts. But I also want to talk about CN news. And we have Gunsmoke Funline coming up this weekend, which I don't think that's going to be something. We're not going to really do anything tonight about that. I don't even think I'm going to have a stream for that. I think I'm just going to do my testing and record on Sunday when that happens. So, wow. Where to start? I think we're going to start with CN news. That's a good way to kick off the... Am I going to need to sit down now? There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Springfield, for leaving me a seat. Yeah. I think let's do a CM news. All right. Let's hope that my recording software didn't break this. Oh, it did. I know it did because I... All right. Give me a second. Let me pull up the video. YouTube, not now. Don't hit me with your commercials now. Okay, let's see if I can do this live on stream while also juggling 3 other things. Let's move this to here. And let's do the window capture. Let's do that. Done. Let's pray this works. Okay, cool. Whew. All right, I captured the right video. So this is the new character for CN side. This is Basti, formerly Mark 23. And let's just watch. I'll just play the video. This is her like intro preview video, and then we'll talk about all the different. Sorry, I have CN subtitles because I didn't upload this video. The censorship, dude, gets me every time. Okay, there's kind of a couple things I want to talk about in this video. More than a couple. Okay, so yeah, dude, Pepka. I want to call you Pepega, but I know that's not right. Pega. Yeah, bestie. Instead of Basti, it's bestie, and I agree with you. Do I need to play Needy Streamer Overload to understand this reference? No, I think you literally got it right there. That's all you're done. You checked it, dude. So yes, dude, Corrosion keeps winning, dude, to get another Corrosion character. This time a handgun, and not just any handgun, one of the coolest handguns in existence. The Mark 23, the Navy SEAL gun. Now, I know she's not a Navy SEAL, or even a baby SEAL, but she is, she's something. So let's talk about the couple things in the video I want to go over. So obviously she's, like I said, Corrosion handgun, right? This is not the skills. Let's fast forward a little bit. Oh, so can I just gush here for just a moment? I mean, this gun, such an iconic gun. This is like, I encourage you guys to do a little self-research on this gun. Such a cool freaking gun. Oh man, I'll sit here and gush about this gun forever, but I'm not going to. Although I'm not really a fan of what they did with this. This is the sci-fi version. I mean, how do you improve on perfection, right? Like, I mean, there's only so much you could do. I mean, the good news is when you oath her, you'll just get this gun with a cool little paint job, which I don't think they preview in this, but anyway, so her alt here, what it looks like it does, from what I can tell. So going by the animation, it looks like she triggers all her mines with it, but judging by what actually happens on screen here, it looks like she just throws the corrosion goop everywhere, freaking everywhere. This is like Vector's alt, but like even bigger, it looks like. I mean, I don't know if we can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like to be 8, maybe even 9 tiles of radius, although they also don't really specify if this is a segment 0 character or not. I'm gonna assume it is, because who would do that, right? But still. Yeah, dude, Radical Link, we got a Thursday night stream. I guess I tried reading Alva's kit, and that one gave me a headache. That one's kind of bad too, but we're gonna get into that one when she comes out. That one's not too bad. All you need to know is she summons a big ice ball, and it sucks HP of them, turns it into a shield, and then yeah, you just hurt that shield more than normal. Let's see. So Paul says, I like how the Corrosion team is just toxic cat girls. Oh my god, you're right. Right, it's Pretia. Now Basti. Oh, and Harpsy, right? The only one that doesn't fit on the team is Klukai, and I'm sure they'll have maybe they're waiting to drop that accessory. That one's not quite, out yet. The gold weapons all look pretty, man. Yeah, there's like so much. I can tell they're trying to stick with the theme that they set up when the game first came out, like for the gold weapons, right? Like that sci-fi looking, like black and white with like red accents. Where did it go? I know I'm skipping around in the video. They're going for this like black carbon fiber looking, like, or maybe polymer. I don't know what this is really supposed to be. And then, like I said, the whitish / silver slide / accents with red. They're sticking with this, and I give them credit. Like, they're being very uniform about it. I do wonder if one day they're going to switch to a different like theme for these like 5-star weapons. But anyway, so back to the character. Got a little sidetracked there. She shows purple goop everywhere, which no idea what this does, right? If this is like Meech T's corrosion, where it's just like it just inflicts the weakness on them, or if it's going to be more like Vector's, where it also puts like a damage vulnerability on them, because remember, Vector's tiles also do increased fire damage, whoever's standing on them. Incineration tiles. I don't know. We have no idea. Let's take a look at her other skill here real quick. This one has got me excited. So she targets an ally, and then it looks like they teleport both to wherever she targets. They don't really show the first part of the skill, right? Like they just cut in right when it's going off. So I don't know how the targeting is going to work. Like, for example, could you pick Nemesis here below her and to the left, and then have her end where the enemy is, like up and to the right? Like, I'm interested to see the details on this skill, but think about the applications of this skill already. Like right off the bat, this lets Michi move around while she's in sleep mode. So if you use Lind, and not just anybody, right? Whoever Lind uses Radio Invitation on so that they're stuck in place, now Basti can actually move them around the field, so it gets around that weird restriction of no movement. So right off the bat, I can already think of a good application for this. In addition, there's just other characters like they showcase here. I mean, I know that Nemesis is not really Corrosion, but she is just a low movement character. So this will be useful for getting characters like that around. Oh yeah, I guess you're right, Paul. Lukai has the cat ear hat. Cat girl made Mishti on her first skin. Dude, I do wonder what they're going to do for Mishti's first skin. That is the obvious one. Is like they even had the art drawn up for the story. And that was like the previous G31 or G11 like official default model, right? It was like the maid. Radic Link says the purple goop is cool, but you don't feel the character design, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, everyone's allowed to be wrong sometimes, so you know I wouldn't take it too seriously. The CH power creep, the Zhao Wei. Talking about Zhao Wei. Well, this is it is kind of Zhao Wei power creep, but it depends on what kind of restrictions they have, right? Like, oops, I'm going too far. Here we go. This does not look like a big distance, right? Like if it's only a couple tiles like this, I mean, Zhao Wei can go like across the map. And let's be honest, unfortunately, Zhao Wei's like niche is just her mobility is not why you get her. I mean, it is why you get her, but that's the reason nobody gets her is because like it's just not needed. Zhao Wei can still not get power creep if they decide to give her a neural expansion key that is not ass. Right, like this is fine that Basti can do this little movement thing, as long as they also continue to give Zhao Wei something like for the Hydro team, because she's just not needed. So I don't know, whatever. It said this is also, I'm gonna guess she's like hard tailored to Corrosion as well, so I would not see her outside of Corrosion teams. Anyway, so the last one is she throws these mines down, right? And then obviously when they explode, they throw purple goop everywhere. And did it show? Let me get one frame back. How far of a goop did this? This is a pretty big tile, right? Like, so it goes here. Oops, back to full screen mode. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 tiles. It's hard to really tell because of the terrain, and this is just not a good camera angle, but it's a pretty significant area. I'm once again, this is another one of the big question mark abilities, right? Because like you see as he comes towards it and stops there, it blows up. There's just a lot of questions I have about this ability, like how it works. Like, do these detonate during their turn? Do they detonate at the end of the turn? Right? Because this could be an enemy ending his action and he's just not attacking, and then it's going off, right? Or does this thing detonate mid-movement, right? Like, so does he move to here, and then before he activates his attack, kind of like how interception attacks work, they interrupt it and they blow up? Because that would be cool too, right? Because then you could obviously kill people. The other part of this is, like, I do wonder what the detonation radius is, like what causes it to go off, because it's clearly not 5 tiles or 8 tiles, however far away this guy is. But if it's like really low, like if it's like a 1 to 2 tile detonation range, because I mean in the other version they place it right next to him, I don't know how useful this is going to be. I could feel like this might be really obnoxious to use, because in normal gameplay you're going to be putting these mines down and hoping that enemies run into them, and then ending your turn finding out they don't run into them, then rewinding and then just placing the mine where they're going to move. So it's almost like obnoxious, because you're just going to have to like guess the first time and then you'll know the second time. I don't know. We'll have to see how this one plays out. But this is cool. I like this idea of the corrosion goop everywhere. And then, like I said, her ult, the animation implies that she auto detonates all of them, but in the video, they're not. I don't see any, right? Like, I don't see any on the ground anywhere already. Like, right before it blows up here. See, that doesn't seem to be any placed, so I don't know. Also, there's purple tiles under her. No idea where those came from. That might be from a fixed key or something. Anyway, awesome, cool, iconic character, awesome gun. Corrosion team keeps winning. I'm really excited to see what they do. I think she's a support, right? I think that's her class. Yeah, support class. That I don't know. This is weird. We're starting to get into the oh, look at, I don't know if you guys noticed, there's another little detail. Look at the little sparkles in the eyes. Very, very small. Dude, the art team, dude. I'm just gushing, dude. The art team is, they're so on point. Just, you know, they get it right. All these small little details. I don't care if Radical Ink doesn't think this is a cool design. I actually like it. I love the jacket. Sick jacket too. Anyway, this is gonna be a weird future for. Let me see if I can close this one now, and then let's see if I can. My Discord restarted too, so I gotta. Well, whatever. I won't show you the. Just know that in the official Discord they posted the animations and some of the skills. They didn't post any of his skills because they don't have them as far as like how they work, but just yeah, they're there. So let me move this back over to here on this screen. So yes, I don't know how it's gonna work with the Corrosion team. I don't know like what the team building is, because this is the other thing as a question mark, as we're gonna get to here in about 5 minutes with Lewis. They're now starting to do these mono element specific team bonuses. Like Lewis is going to do the ember stacks and whatnot, and I do wonder if Basti is going to be the first one for Corrosion to have the team wide ability in her kit, and that's going to be weird because I wonder if going forward we're just going to essentially replace the supports. Like, who do you run in the Corrosion team, right? Like right now in its current form, a full Corrosion team would be Kukai, Lind, and Michti at the minimum, right? And I'm talking about like good characters. Like you could run Pretia, but you don't need to. Pretia is there to fuel Klukai's ult if, for example, there's not enough enemies and not enough ways to trigger it. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I haven't paid attention when I've been using it, but I don't know if you have a segment 6 Klukai, if having a segment 6 or segment 1 specifically Lind is enough to reliably refresh her ult every turn. I don't think so. Not sure about that. I think a segment 6 might be able to, because she does support attacks and she triggers multiple instances of corrosion. Anyway, so you got those three. Then you have Harpsy coming soon, which I think can replace Pretia at that point. Because once again, she applies dots, and I think those dots count towards the refreshing Klukai's ult. So that's the 4. Like, who do you replace on the team? I guess the 5th one is Basti, or like, I don't know, because you have 2 supports that way. The other thing is the team doesn't have like a dedicated healer. Like Michti heals, but like not very well. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have. Like, you know, is Basti going to be a replacement for Michti? That is another question that I'm not so sure about, because Michti's kind of comfy in that team. Wow, there's no seats available. Okay, well, I guess I'll go sit on my cuck chair. No costume to have a dulcet whisper. I'll just sit on my cuck chair in the meantime. Anyway, yeah, I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see what they do with her. I want to see some numbers and some like actual text descriptions of what her abilities do. Also, it's talking about the mines. As long as you put them down next to enemy and they go off, fine. Otherwise, not like enemies will survive beyond 1 turn if they were in range. Well, you know, see, Paul, we live in a society where it's like we have this weird dichotomy of most of the time everything's overkill, because you're right, normal enemies will just explode and die, or at the very least, the rest of the team will kill them with AoE goodness. But then in some game content, like you know, Gunsmoke Frontline and stuff, you're just never going to kill I mean, you're not going to be one-shotting anything, right? So then it does matter. So I don't know, it's like kind of weird. You're right. It's like AoE's in this weird spot where it's like versus 90% of the content in the game, it one-shots everything. And then versus like bosses, specifically Gunsmoke bosses, it's like nothing ever can do enough damage, right? There's no such thing as too much damage. I'm not really sure. I feel like they have kind of goofed the balance between segment 0 and segment 6 for the game as a whole, right? Because segment 6 characters do so much damage compared to segment 0 characters that it really starts to make things messy. And then obviously game balance in the middle of that gets really weird too, right? Like some segment 2 and 3 characters don't do as much damage as what you'd expect, right? For example, why would I get 2 different segment 2 characters when I could just get, or segment 3 characters, when I could just get one segment 6 character that just absolutely deletes everything, you know? Like this is kind of the weird game balance that they've got. I'm not really sure how they're going to fix it, so. Overwork the art team and give me more skins. Dude, there are more skins on the way. Oh, I didn't show you the skin for Basti. It's like kind of like a weird cheerleader outfit combination from one of her GFL1 skins. It's like half unique, half like rehatched outfit. Can I hang out over here? I like to hang out by the pool. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to sit. Everyone's just looking at me. It's like when the nerdy kid sits down at the lunch table. It's like he sits down with the popular girls and they're just like staring at him. I wouldn't know anything about that though. This has never happened to me. So what about Harpsy? Well, what about Harpsy, Loco? I mean, she's good. She does dots. She's a submachine gun. She doesn't really heal though. Don't really know who's going to be like the dedicated healer for that team. Although with the way the game is going, once again, it's like you never really even need healers. Some Gunsmoke bosses need healers, but... Okay, guys, I think it's time to gamble. We've been talking. We've been simping. Itusa can fuel Ukai as well, I believe. Yes, I think that's right, but I don't know off the top of my head if Itusa can do that at segment 0, right? Like it's... You know. Oh yeah, that's right. Fetusa's on the corrosion team too. Oh yeah, who's getting booted? Right? Like now we've got so many units for corrosion. It's actually kind of weird, right? Like I almost feel like Basti is gonna end up replacing. I feel like they're just gonna do a whole new wave of characters in the future that they fit in teams with their new team gimmick, like we're about to see here with Lewis. That's my guess. Because even in like the fire team currently, now we're at an awkward spot where like Centrarisi really wants to get removed from the fire team as like the sustainer for the team. She can still fit in the team, but she's just kind of not doing what a lot of the new characters want. Which is, you know, not to say that Centrarisi is horrible. It's just that she is now just a generic healer, right? Along with kind of like Andrus, right? Andrus works very well on the electric team, but she's also just a generic sustainer. Like you can slap her in any team and she does a really good job of keeping them alive. That's going to be Centrarisi now. It's like, yeah, I guess you could put her on the fire team, but just using her as like just a general support, like healer. They might actually even want to consider adding some of those units to the standard banner. They could make it so that the standard banner in the future is more like a pool of generic characters that work with just any combination. I don't know. I don't run the game. I don't make these things up. Oh yeah, Paul. Well, I mean the mines so much. Paul says even if the Gunsmoke, even in Gunsmoke, bosses don't move. So if the mines need to be activated by enemies, well then it's a bricked ability. But for sure, I mean you saw in the video they detonate if they're just in range at all. So you'll be able to, at the very least, be able to just place the mines and have them immediately explode. I do wonder, just like I said, the distance and stuff. Mr. Streamy, did you finally get that last support for the Centrarisi skin? I did. My boy came through for me. I don't know if he's not here tonight. Shadow was an absolute champ, and he hooked me up with a guy who knows a guy that knows a friend. And we did get that Centrarisi skin, and now my credit token's in the top right here. See our nice even number. I actually see it looks like I'm a whale now with how many I have. Jeez. This is just a lot of buying the monthly battle pass or the token pass. I'm just not spending them, but I think we're gonna spend some tonight. Oh, so they did get translated, huh? Basti's skins got translated. Apparently, she heals buffs via corrosion tiles. Ooh, that's interesting. That would explain why the corrosion tiles are like everywhere, because if you need to be on them to heal. Ooh, I like that. I like that, dude. I'm really interested in seeing her kit now. Yeah, dude, Shadow did pull up. Shadow pulled up with like 5 of his homies, and they're like, yeah, heard you needed some assists. This is really cool too. I also noticed they changed the animations here. They're no longer just the level up animations. They're from the units like promo videos, which are way more well done and like cool than just the level up animations. Okay, so we have a fresh 50-50 on Lewis here. Double check. Yep, we're 5 in from Robella. I don't think we're gonna get the gun. We'll see how it goes. The gun is a pretty significant upgrade, though. It's just that I don't really know how much I'm gonna like using her. We're gonna have to see. Let's start. And then we might even get a MP5 or Perry. This one I'm not so sure about. I've avoided getting her just because I'm not really a huge fan. She was kind of undercooked when she came out, but now she's getting her expansion key, neural expansion key, which like makes her not so obnoxious to use, but we'll see. We'll see how these go. Okay, well, we didn't get in the first temple, so stream's over. Thanks for coming, guys. See you guys next year. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't baby rage like that. We're still way ahead. This is the year I feel like I need to make up for last year's amazing karma. I feel like I need to give back to the community somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I don't think it's going to be through early tentpoles anymore. V1 Perry is actually pretty fun now. What does her V1 do? Remind me off the top of my head. I just look, actually. I'm not going to make you type all those words out. Let me take a quick peek. A really quick peek. I know y'all are like, stop getting distracted. This is the one that... Oh, this is the passive. Okay. I'm confused. Number of stacks of hot investment needed to launch one basic attack is reduced by... Oh, I see. Because at base, was it 2 stacks for... Every 3 stacks. Yeah, so this makes it for every 2 stacks. Okay. Yeah, that's how you... That's how you get like three basic attacks in a turn. Sorry, people are texting my ass off. I'm popular today. All right, back to gambling. Didn't reroll until I got the God Seed account. Said at this point I need to pay back. I took a loan out on luck. Dude, we're getting a lot of 4 stars. Yes. The mod key makes you do more. Doesn't she get like 6 basic attacks or something in a turn, which didn't interact as much as I would have liked with how Lewis works? But we'll see in a second here. What are we at? That's 40, so not quite soft pity. Send a dono fund to the homies to fund the polls. Ooh, the 4-star version. What if you could just randomly get the 5-star version of a gun, but it didn't affect your pity? That'd be crazy. This is still... Yes, it is. This will be soft pity. But it does not look like it is soft pity for us. I can never trust the game now. I have to do the slide because I know they're gonna lie to me and it won't be the gold border. Like this. Like we're in soft pity. This is 75 out of 80. That was not the gold lights. Is this the gold lights? Yeah, see? Okay. I'm not crazy. This is definitely a 5-star, but if you rewind the stream, I guarantee you the lights on the tunnel were not gold. I have not hallucinated this 3 times in a row. Ba-ba-da-ba. It actually would have been a little more lore accurate if she would have said professor. All right, well, we're back on the winning team. 1 second. There we go. All right. People texting me. So we're back on the winning team. 50-50s all day, easy. Oh wait. What have we learned though, guys? Oh, be careful. Be very careful. Very careful. But it could have been a double 5-star. You just never know, man. You just never know. Okay, so that went pretty good. I think, here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm gonna do some testing with Lewis here, and for the next stream, whenever that's gonna be, if things are looking good, I will probably roll back around and maybe we'll grab Perry. Maybe. But let's level her real quick because I want to do some testing. they nerfed the gold lights in the tunnel. Yeah, I know, right? Also unrelated, but why is the machine gun that's water cooled? Why is she a fire element? Can you riddle me this? I'll be honest, dude, I'm not a huge fan how they, like, I felt like in Project NeuroCloud, she was just kind of a throwaway character design. I'm just like, oh, well, they needed to bring a fan favorite or a, like, returning GFL character into PNC. So they just picked Lewis and like, I don't know, make her a toy designer or some shit. And here we are, full circle, where now they've decided, like, this is going to be kind of her, like, identity going forward. I actually would have preferred they would have stuck with her GFL1 design, but that's just me. I mean, they're similar in design. I just mean, like, the whole toys, and I don't like them. Look at that, it's so creepy, dude. It's supposed to be cute, but it actually, like we're approaching Chucky levels. I'll stop watching this. The FOMOs are cute. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You think they're cute. No, oh, that's true. Okay. Paul's like, your opinion's wrong. And just like Radical Ink has a bad opinion about Basti, I can have a bad opinion about, Lewis. We're all allowed to have bad opinions here. They're gonna give me nightmares, though. I don't care what you say. Okay, so much that we can leave her with the level 1 weapon. Oh, I do need to unlock her fortifications, though. That is something I do need to do. Or not fortifications, no healing. Do. I think we're gonna test Fire Team out first. Let's do this one. I want to test this one. There's a lot of questions I have about this particular key that I need to get answered, but we're going to do that second. Let's just do fire for now. Whatever, defense down, that's fine. There's a lot of weird overlaps with Chongju. Like, I guess this is why I'm kind of not excited about her as much as everybody else is. I'm not a huge fan of how much weird overlap and, like, I don't know if anti-synergies is like the right way to term it, but like things that don't mesh with the current members of the fire team. Like, it's very clear that they're trying to phase out the typical Chongju Sharkery Vector core, but it's I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, we haven't quite got there yet. Okay, yeah, we don't need this one just yet. This is just the stats. We don't need any of this. Okay, we can get to testing. We don't need to do... I'm just double checking. This doesn't matter. These keys don't matter. We don't care about affection rating. Let's get into it. Get her skin or else. I will get her skin. I don't need to do that on stream though. Let's do this is gonna be ass to do because once again we can't. Every single time, can you guys help me out in the future? Anytime you fill out a survey, tell them that you want a targeting dummy with just no element restrictions, and you can borrow units from your friends. Just, you know, help me be the voice that changes the world, because this is so obnoxious. Like, we can test it on right now for the fire team, but we can't use this target dummy to test very well once we switch over to Hydro with Tolol and Springfield. Makes it really obnoxious. Okay. I don't think we need Centurisi. I'm trying to think if she does anything for the team. We're gonna put her on here just for funsies. And because we got the skin, right? It's definitely not because that's definitely not the reason. Okay, so right, let's talk about her skills really quick. And I'm gonna just verbally talk about these, so anyone who's watching is not familiar will understand what's going on, but also because I need to remind myself because it's a little complicated. Okay, so the first thing that happened here was this giant long passive. When the battle starts, she puts the little FOMOs. We're just gonna go with FOMOs, right? FOMOs. We're gonna go with FUMOs, and she puts one of them on the 2 closest burn type units. Now, if you put that other key on her, she'll pick non-burn units, but picks the 2 closest. And she puts the thermal conduction rating in the top right here. This thing just hides up here. I wish they actually would move this to like right here, because as you'll see when I hover over stuff on the battlefield. Really? Well, whatever. When Vector throws her ult, you'll see it. A lot of words cover this up. But so she puts the 2 little goods on her teammates. Whenever they do burn damage, they will trigger the volley fire, which is like a separate instance of damage, which I believe originates from Lewis. Like, it uses Lewis's stats for crit damage, etc. But it only triggers because the ally makes the attack. Now, the issue I have with this skill is a couple things. Let me pull up the... That's not it. Okay, so it says the Tin Soldiers can trigger this once per turn, which, as we'll find out, is technically true, but like kind of weird because there's like 3 different terms that they use in the game now, which is they're starting to get confusing. There's rounds, there's turns, and there's actions, and then some tick down on the rounds timers, others tick down on actions. Like, for example, not incineration, accelerant. This ticks down on your character's turn. Does not tick down on like the round timer. So once Vector makes her attack after her second attack after this, it goes away. So we'll talk about this in a second. I really wish they would kind of do a pass on all the abilities currently in the game and neaten this up a bit, because it's really kind of awkward and weird. So here's the first problem I have with Lewis, or the issue that I'm not sure how we're going to get around, is that in order to trigger the volley fire, you have to actually do an active skill or basic attack. So for example, using Changju's ult, which you want to do in the fire team because you can actually proc all 6 instances of her follow-up, this didn't trigger volley fire. And if we attack with somebody, for example, Centrisi, Changju will do the follow-up like normal, but she will not trigger the volley fire. Oh, I got it on slow-mo, and now we're gonna... I upset the team. Now they're all gonna make follow-up attacks. Yeah, I know, Paul. I'm doing this wrong on purpose because I wanna kind of illustrate for people who are not aware the goofiness of this character. So yes, so we did, even though she triggered a attack and everything, it did not trigger volley fire. Lewis did not get her confectants, because every time these little dudes do a volley fire, she gets a confectants. So now, for example, if let me speed this up, because we all know what Vector does. Throw fire. Million follow-ups. None of these are going to trigger. Oh, see, that time it did trigger volley fire. So she did get the confectants. So what was the restriction? It just needs to be an active attack? active skill, which is once again another kind of confusing term, because this one clearly says in its right under Searing Finale level 1, it says ultimate, right? Not skill. I know skill is technically not a like term that they use, but in the community, this is going to cause lots of confusion. This is, I'm venting again. This is why I hate it when people just throw terms around and they're not like specific with it, because these are all technically skills, but everyone refers to this ability as the alt. So when the passive says an active skill, people are going to think abilities 1 and 2 here. They're not going to think that the alt counts for it. Small little side thing. Okay, so whatever. Now it triggered the volley fire. It won't trigger again. So even though we're doing fire damage and stuff, have it on fast forward, but she didn't get a sec. That's how you know that volley fire trigger is when she gets a point of convectance. It didn't trigger volley fire a second time. So, and this is the part where I'm a little confused. The other thing is the merit. So how this works is the merit is what's used to level up the Fumos. They gain ranks every time you hit 4. Now it only is going to take effect at the end of the turn, which is why both Changju and Vector, even though they have 4 stacks, they haven't cashed them in yet. If we were to end the turn, which we'll just do it, right? I don't know. Yeah, we'll just do this for funsies, but none of this really matters. Now, slow it down. At the end of the boss's actions here, you'll see them cash in the 4, and you'll get a rank on each one of the Fumos. See, there it is. They just cash them in, and now when we go back over to them, right, see, now they're the 4 stacks are gone. The problem is it only stacks up to 4, so even if you could do, like, for example, Changju can do 6 attacks in a turn, or 6 follow-up attacks, which is 6 instances of burn damage. In theory, she could have just a boatload of these merit stacks, but it caps at 4, so you'll never gain more than 1 rank in a turn. Okay. So this is awkward, right? Changju's never gonna follow, or never gonna do the volley fire. So you don't ever want to make her a target. Now, like I said, it's good because she does so many instances of fire damage. She'll always hit max merit stacks. But it's kind of weird in this team. So as Paul pointed out, the correct people you want to put these on, we'll restart the battle here real quick. The correct place to put her would be between 2 other fire damage dealers. This could be Perry, or this could be... So that's it. Another weird part about this is, as far as I can tell, there's kind of no reason why specific characters want the Tin Soldiers versus others, right? The only thing you care about is, can they trigger the volley fires enough times? Because, all right, let me test real quick. So Lewis should have like no stats because she's using a level 1 gun. Yeah, she's got 1500. When we do the volley fire, let's slow it down here. Let's just do it with whatever, 1 basic attack. If the volley fire attack is really low, that's kind of a hint that it's coming from Sharkry's hitting for 5,000. This should do like what, 1,000-ish? Not that. This volley fire that's going to happen after these million attacks. Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. Oh my god, it just keeps going. There it is. Okay, so that was 1,300 damage. So that does appear to be based off of... it's still going, dude. It's still going. This team is fun to use. It's just... You do, like I said, I literally did 1 attack, and I triggered like a million follow-ups. So it seems to be based off Lewis's stats, because if that would have came from Sharkry, it probably would have done 2,000 plus damage, because it's a instance of 80%, I believe. Volley fire is 100%. Okay, 100%. So yeah, it would have done in the 2,000 range. as opposed to the 1300 range. That's how you know it came from, it used Lewis's stats for it. So all you really care about is, can the unit make an attack every single turn, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone can give me an answer to this, like, all you seem to care about is, can they proc the volley fire, either by having a fire-based attack. What are the restrictions? Active attack or basic attack. So as long as they attack every turn, I guess without the key also needs to be burned, but we can add the key to change that. So they need to attack every turn. So like a unit like Springfield wouldn't be a good target for it, because she sometimes has to take turns off to buff somebody with her, you know, shared intelligence or whatever, or not shared intelligence, whatever it's called. So, and same with the Sentry. Sometimes Sentry needs to alt to heal, so she doesn't make an attack that turn. So you want to just make sure that it goes on somebody who's making an active attack every turn. That procs the volley fire. And then the second half of it is, you want them to be able to generate enough merit stacks to level up the soldiers every single turn. So that would mean, I believe it needs to be fire damage to get merit stacks. When dealing burn damage, they gain 1 stack of merit. At the end of the turn, they gain 4 stacks. Now, this is a little bit of a lie, because we have the key on her that gives them 2 stacks of merit every turn. So really, they need to do 2 instances of fire damage to get 2 merit stacks, because they'll end their turn, get 2 merit stacks, and then when they deal burn damage, they get another merit stack. So that would be from their active attack, for example. So they would be 3 merit stacks just for doing an attack. So they need to do a second attack somehow, or they need to do a follow-up. But as far as I can tell, yeah, all you care about is, yeah, those 2 things, just merit stacks and proccing volley fire. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting to chat now. Will she work with parry? I mean, I think she does, because, like I said, parry just does a lot of basic attacks. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure parry's new key turns them all to fire damage. So you can max out the stacks that Lewis gets. Now we haven't started talking about segments yet, which makes this like really complicated, because at high segments more things start happening. But as far as I can tell, all you care about is just, you know, 2 things. So let's restart the battle again. This is, like I said, this is the weird part, right? So in this team, it just needs to go on whoever. If you ran Kyohan, for example, it also shouldn't be a problem, because she does 2 instances of follow-ups from her passive. Emergency support here. This can trigger once per turn. That's not right. It can trigger more than once per turn. Is it the key that lets it? This is just not right. I know she does more than one. Something here. Is it this? I don't know, man. Just gotta trust. We'll just do it. Raj. I'm not crazy, dude. I promise you I'm not crazy. I've used this character before. Speed up. Go here. One. Or that's sorry, that was the, yeah, no, that was before the jump, so that was 1. 2. Alright. Where can only be triggered once per turn. We definitely live in a society where things are starting to get so complicated, even I'm having a hard time keeping track of what's doing all this. Yeah, where is the second? Is it? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just you saw it. Somehow it triggered twice. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and do this right now. This is my brain's already trying to figure out what's going on with Lewis. So the other thing was the stacks in the right here, the top right. The what is it called? The thermal conduction. This is another thing that's kind of weird, right? Like, I don't think that. Let's just do this again. I don't think that the number of attacks affects this, right? I think it's still once per turn. So all these attacks are going to trigger. She's going to do a ton of instances of damage, but I think we're only going to walk away with 3. Yeah, see, we only got 3 from that. Same thing with Vector here. Even though she made 2 attacks there, she did the Syrian Finale and Portent of Doom. Once again, only got 3. So I'm a little confused. You know, I'm a little confused here as to why you care about, for example, Tololo, which we're gonna swap in now. You don't want to use Kyohan because Kyohan goes last in the fire team. I'm thinking of why. Like, why couldn't you just have Kyohan go right? Like, just have Lewis go last, right? What does that mess up? Where is she? Where is she? It's Lewis. You're probably at the bottom. Okay, maybe not that bottom. Damn, you've got a level 1 gun, and you... Where are you? Scroll past you 3 times, haven't I? Right next to someone. Let's switch out defense too, because we're running. I don't even think you'd run. I don't think you'd ever switch this one out because it's just free damage. I think you would switch this out. Because the reason I'm saying that, Paul, is because Kyohan doesn't trigger her God, the names. Her stacks, what are they called? Scorch marks? They don't trigger until the end of the round anyway. So you usually have Kyohan go last because she doesn't have enough confectants, usually, to do her little fry pan attack or whatever. But the Scorch marks don't trigger until the end of the boss's turn. We'll just, yeah. Shouldn't matter. Oh, crap. I was trying to... Whatever. That's a slightly different topic. I don't know if I'm going to get into this. We're getting a little derailed. Let's just run through this turn super quick. This. I think actually you'd probably... Min-maxing, I think you'd have Lewis go before Vector. Just to not, quote, waste a turn of the accelerant buff, but... I also kind of don't like on her that they've locked... They seem to be doing this with more and more characters, which is like a... It makes me worried that the trend they're going with, but they seem to have locked a lot of quality of life on her rotation behind her segment 2. Because you're never going to get the... Normally this ult is going to happen once every 3 turns, but if you get her segment 2, then it happens once every 2 turns, from what I can tell. Let's just do this real quick. They trigger after her ult, and then also at the end of the turn. They apply Scorch Marks, expends all confectants. I say usually you want her to go at the end just because you want her to have as much confectants as possible before you throw this out. But Scorch Marks themselves should not trigger until the end of the action. And this is on the enemy's action, because the enemy is the one that holds on to these. We'll see in a second. I'll slow it down here to end the... Well, you gotta do her turn first. Well, let's slow it down for this. Just want to make sure there's nothing goofy going on here. She already did her 2 support attacks, which is why she didn't proc any before there. She did the overburn. Let's just check real quick. So that was overburn doing fixed damage, or accelerant, I mean. I'll be honest, I kind of miss the Kaukini now. Okay, so it didn't do anything fancy there. That's a damage instance from Overburn. He's still got 12 Scorch stacks on him. After these 4 attacks, they should proc and blow up. That was there we go. That's where they blew up right there. That 12, not the two numbers that were in yellow. The one number that was in red was the Scorch mark. The 2 numbers in yellow was because he's standing on incineration tiles, which do Overburn and a stack. And the other number was a wait. Yeah. No, one of those yellow numbers was from Overburn. And then the other yellow number was from Smolder? Oh, Scorch mark? I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know what that second... Here, let's rewind it again real quick. So we'll watch it again, just slow-mo. So this will just be... That's an instance of Accelerant. And even checking the top right here. Kindling and Face Strike. It didn't proc any extra damage because he already had Scorch marks on him. So you'll see a red number and 2 yellows. That's a 3rd yellow. But there we go, right there in that big clusterfuck there. A lot of moving parts. I'm trying to figure out who was doing that extra. One of those instances of fixed damage, which is the yellow numbers, are from Overburn. The other one, I don't know. That red number is from Scorch Mark because does he have any Scorch Marks on him now? He does. It is burn damage. It's not fixed damage. So the big number in red, the 2,700 or whatever, that was from Scorch Mark. The 2 smaller yellow numbers are fixed damage. One was from Overburn, and I don't know where the other one's from. Unless it was Overburn from the debuff, and then he got afflicted a second time because he's standing on the tile. That might have been what happened. But, oof. Anyway, yeah, as far as I can tell, Paul, I don't think there's a reason why you couldn't just have Kyohan go before Lewis to get her the last Confectance point, and then just use, because then you'll have enough for Toy Carnival. But we'll switch over to testing with Tololo. And also I can catch up on chat. Yo, dude, you can't say slurs on YouTube. You have to DM them to me. So, please DM me your best slurs. On a scale of 1 to 10, how essential is Lewis for the fire team? That's kind of what we're looking at right now. Josco is how essential is she? It's segment 0. I'm not so sure. And this is why I need to test on like a real boss, like a Gunsmoke boss, because I can't, like I said, I can't test right now like I want to with, I mean, I guess I could. I have to do some really jank testing though. Right? Like I'd like to test her with hydro units and fire units, but like in this team, for example, these 2 units are going to do 0 damage versus this boss. So at the end of the 7 turns, it's going to give me a really goofy chart, which is going to be hard to figure things out. People were kind of in agreement, and by people I mean the CN players were kind of in agreement that her segment 6 is like really strong, comparable to I want to say people were saying it was close to Niketa, or maybe it was Klukai for single target. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But the segment 6 is obviously a very strong single target damage dealer. The issue is at segment 0, what does that mean? Right? Segment 6, as we discussed before, segment 6 characters are kind of like, that's like a whole nother type of balancing that they do. And it's kind of weird because the performance difference in a segment 0 versus a segment 6 character is night and day. For example, look at Springfield. Her segment 1/segment 0, Springfield, does literally no damage. It's like baby little chip damage. But her segment 6 does like comparable to an actual DPS unit's damage. So it's like, it's really hard to say, because, we get into the other topic of like, okay, well, that's 6 characters. You could get literally a whole team. 7 characters, right? But I don't know. Yoka says at V0, Lewis is a downgrade compared to a free segment 6 Sharkery, though thus worse than segment 1 parry for Chengdu triggers. That sounds right to me. Like I said, I want to do some testing and like get actual numbers, like damage charts at the end, and get summaries and stuff. Because there's so many moving parts when it comes to teams these days. It's really hard to just kind of look at it and be like, ah, yeah, that's close enough. But I would guess you're probably right. Like to me, looking at the number of instances of damage and how she works with the team at segment 0, it seems like she's doing similar but not the same things as units that already exist, and I just don't think her damage numbers are going to be anything crazy. Okay, so we already know that this is a goofy one, right? So 4-man content exists in the game, but it's not really any of the endgame modes that count. Almost all the endgame modes are 5 characters, right? So is it cheating to put another like good character on this team? I know this mode allows for 5. Gunsmoke allows for 5. Phase Clash allows for 5. Boss battles allow for 5. What am I forgetting? I think that's everything. So we're going to go with 5 units on a team for now, until I hear otherwise. As we just determined, Chongju's not going to be the one to get the Tin Soldiers, so we're going to put on Vector and Tololo. Oh, cool, Paul. So Paul says, on my target dummy runs at segment 6, she is full-on hyper carry, but at segment 0, she is basically a Sharkery. And I assume you mean that compared to, whatever, segment 6 Sharkery with a gold weapon, and I'm going to assume correct calibrations. Which isn't bad, right? Like, it's still a solid unit. It's just, you know, the problem is we're getting a little bit of element oversaturation, like we just discussed, right? We can use Chongju, or Kyohan. We could use Sharkery. We could use, there'll be parry on the team, maybe, possibly. And then also we have hybrid teams like this now, right? Like this team is actually really solid too. So here's the part that I'm not so sure about. Let's just do whatever. Do the thing. Speed this up a little. Speed this up. Boop, 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 boop. Good news is we can dead end Meltdown now. That is an interesting thing. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. I need to rewind that real quick. So did this proc the Chongju follow-up from the volley fire? Because normally this does not proc a follow-up. Volley fire trigger. Chongju trigger. Oh, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. The reason that's kind of nice because it lets Vector use Dead End Meltdown and get the bonus immediately, because the enemy needs to have a fire debuff applied, but since Vector is usually the first one to go on the team, there's never a fire debuff on the target, unless I guess you have Centurisi. So you can use Dead End Meltdown right away now and get the full, as we see here, you'll see the big instances of extra fixed damage. Boom, look at all those numbers. Okay, so we know this is kind of, like I said, we've already established that if you're a fire unit and you do any more than 1 instance of damage in a turn, you're good. You're going to get 4 stacks of merit, you're going to trigger the volley fire, life is golden. Now here's the question. When you have a unit like Tololo, what happens? Because there's been a lot of people talking about how, and to be honest, I'm guilty. I propagated this lie of Tololo. Anybody who can take extra actions does really well with Lewis, but after I was messing around earlier, I'm not so sure if that's actually true or not. I'm thirsty here. I gotta take a sip. Yeah, Pega says most segment 6s casually double the damage even compared to 5. Yep, I don't know why that is. Like I said, you'd think that the damage curve would be a little more smooth, but I think they really want to entice people, because if you sell a segment 6, you've also sold everything on the way to it. So I think they really want segment 6s to be like crazy broken. Although it makes game balance really goofy, because yeah, if you have a team of a bunch of segment 4s, you're going to be doing like a fraction of a damage of a segment 6 character, you know? Like, for example, if you had a segment 4 Lewis and, like, I don't know, like a segment 4 Springfield and, like, I don't know, like a segment 3 Klukai, it's like your damage is going to be a fraction of if you just had, like, I don't know, just a segment 6 Lewis or something. It's kind of a weird balancing system, but it is what it is. And I like I said, Josco has a good point. Strong incentive to segment 6 or V6 your waifu and get a good return, which I'm all about. Like I said, that's the coolest thing about it, though, is like you can have a favorite unit and you don't have to worry about them just being like ass. It's just, you know, they could have been a little more careful with how they balanced it. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Everybody has at least a segment 6 or 2. These days, it might actually not be so ridiculous. I think half of the population saved for segment 6 Klukai, and right now the other half of the population is saving for segment 6 Voy Mestina. Okay, so let's get back to this testing. Apparently, even segment 0 Lewis gets better in the future with DSR. I think that's just because you can build these stacks up. See, this is what I was talking about. Like, everything that you click on is in the top right here, and it's over the thermal conductivity. Right? That's what it's called. Get these names right. Thermal conduction meter. I think that's because DSR lets you build this up quicker. Don't quote me on that, though. And it increases the effects of it, but I think she does that even if you don't have Lewis on the team. But okay, here's the lie that I want to talk about. This will trigger Volley Fire. After Chongju's done, there's a Volley Fire. The wording on the Fumo says the Tin Soldiers can make this attack once per turn. Now, these that she gets are extra actions. These are not extra turns, but it's weird because it's very confusing because buffs tick down, debuffs tick down, other abilities like, for example, Vector's Incineration or Accelerant lasts for 2 turns, right? Turns. Okay, how many stacks do we have of Acceleration now? Or how many turns of Accelerant do we have? 1 turn left. Okay, so some things refer to them as turns every time you take an action. Other things refer to them as actions every time you take an action. Because as we do this one here, we're on a separate action. It's not going to trigger Volley Fire. Chongju, actually, you're kind of annoying. I wish you'd stop. See, no Volley Fire got triggered. Lewis did not get an extra point of Confectance. She's still at 2. And that's it. So this is a little obnoxious, right, from a wording standpoint and from a gameplay standpoint, because like I said, it's clear sometimes that extra actions, in fact, does it even say an extra action? It just says 1 extra action can be taken. So it's like, this is actually getting to be a problem in the game where it's like some things, because now she's lost her Accelerant, right? There's no Accelerant buff on her. Not that it matters, right, because Accelerant is for fire units, but the point is, a lot of things refer to, you know, for X number of turns that it happens. Like, for example, Springfield's weapon. Here we go. When healing a target, applies attack up to the target for 2 turns. Well, she just took 2 turns. I bet you she doesn't have attack up. Now, does she? I lied. She does. Oh, that's right, because it healed her at the end of the action. I think because every time she attacks, she gets healed. Anyway, whatever. The point is, some things use turns to denote actions, and other things mean actions when they denote actions. It's actually very confusing. And then, like I said, now we have rounds. Certain things last for rounds. Like, for example, her alt says rounds, target for 2 rounds. So it'll stick around the entire, like, till you hit end turn, end action, whatever. So this gets very confusing. But the point that I'm making with this whole long spiel is that I don't see why you care about Tolo on the team, right? I don't see why you care about a unit that takes, let's say you could take 7 turns, 7 actions in a row, right? Like, what does this do for Lewis? It lets her get to 4 merit stacks very quickly, but at a segment 6 Lewis, you don't care because it happens naturally. You don't get to generate her extra Confectance by doing this. You don't get to do extra instances of Volley Fire by doing this. And to be honest, by swapping 2 units to a different element, you're actually also kind of reducing the effectiveness of the rank. The rank buff. These 2 are for Lewis only, but I lied, not the rank. This one up here. Oops. I'm trying to click it, but it won't. Doesn't actually. Gotta go to. I mean, this is it. Oh, it's in here. Embers. Burn damage is 30% for everybody. So even though you could have, oh, that's another thing, right? We just took 3 actions with Tololo, but we still only got 3 points of whatever this thing is called, Searing Flame. Yeah, 3 points of Searing Flame. So yes, you're not even going to accelerate how quickly you get this up. And in addition to that, when you finally do get all 35 stacks that you need, right? It's 35. 35, yeah. Once you get 35 stacks of this, then the whole team gets a burn buff. But guess what? Half the units on the team are no longer burn units. So I don't know. I'm really torn about this character, especially at segment 0. At segment 6, we're gonna see what happens. It gets kind of crazy. There's one champion that I can always trust. There's always one homie that's got my back. His name is Paul with a dumb handle. The problem is, I mean, on the one hand, we're lucky because Old Fat exists. The problem is, he still not very tough. We're gonna kill him with fixed damage, awkwardly enough in this. Unless somebody was really cool and uploaded another. Last I checked, yeah, dude, look at all these casuals. Dude, look at the whole friends list full of casuals. There's only one guy that I can trust, and his name's Paul. Or actually, yeah. Oh, another. That's right, Ulrid. Oh, another weird character to interact with this. Oh man, sometimes I do wonder the world. What is the world coming to? Okay, so this is a segment 6 Lewis, right? There's a lot of things that happen. These look how many words there are. Oh my god, look at all the words. One of the things segment 6 Lewis does is that you start at rank 2, so you only need to get 1 more rank on the soldiers to max them out. Now, Paul also has the key somewhere that gives them 2 stacks of merit whenever somebody finishes their turn. I'm looking at the wrong character, that's why. I need that. Here. They get 2 stacks of merit. So if I literally just hit end turn, they get 2. So all you need to do is 2 instances of damage. Oop, nah, maybe not that far back. All you need to do is 2 instances of damage to get 4 stacks of merit, so that you will get rank 3 on the Fumos. Now, here's another one that's weird, right? Ulrid. These are not extra actions, nor are they extra turns. It did trigger the volley fire there. I don't know. I kind of went past it. Here, let me just. Sorry. I'm trying to talk, but I'm getting all upset right now because it's not working the way I want it to. So these are 2 instances of damage, but they are not 2 attacks or actions, whatever. There, triggered to follow up, or triggered the volley fire, I should say. Once again, we're gonna have the same problem. This is all still the same turn, so this won't trigger any more volley fires. So at this point, I don't know, just whatever. But she's done 2 instances of damage, which why doesn't she have 2 merit stacks right now? Do they not show up till the end of the turn? All right, let's look, boys. Let's do the horrible part of this game, which is read. Why didn't she get any merit stacks? Because it has to be burn damage. When a unit deals burn damage, but the key says you don't need to do burn damage. Can now attach to non-burn attributed dolls. Can still trigger volley even if their attacks and skills do not do burn damage. Okay. That's kind of lame. Because so you can trigger the volley fire, but you can't trigger the merit stacks. Which at segment 6, this just means it's going to be 1 more turn. Whatever. It shouldn't matter too much. I had to put I had to put a level 1 gun on this Tolo so that she didn't kill the boss like instantly when she attacked. So we got the same thing here. We're gonna do a volley fire. But how? How did she get 2 stacks of merit? Guys, what is happening? Can someone explain this to me? I need, you know, chat, help me out here. Why did she get 2 stacks of merit? She did hydro damage, and that's it. Her turn's not over. Let's do another one. Does she get another 2? Hydro damage only. No volley fire. She got 2. What's going on? Why didn't Ulrid get these? Rewind. Rewind to the beginning. Or actually, you can go and then Ulrid's turn. Okay, so why didn't Ulrid get... Let me fast forward this. Why didn't Ulrid get these 2 stacks? But they don't! They don't! So Paul says Tolo's bonus actions count as turns for some reason, but they don't, because otherwise, as per the writing on section 8 of line 47, if they counted as extra turns, actually, they would trigger the follow-up from the Tin Soldiers more times per turn. Where is it? I'm trying to look for the actual words. Is it under Volley Fire? Whatever. As we said earlier, Volley Fire can only happen once per turn. God, there's so many words in this game, actually. Here it is, right there. Each Tin Soldier can trigger this effect once per turn. If Tolo's extra actions actually counted as turns, you'd be getting a Volley Fire every single time she goes, but you're not. Does it have to be phase damage? Now, that is a good question. It doesn't... It seems to be that way, Yuka, but at the same time, nothing in this key says anything about that, right? It just says non-burn units can trigger Volley Fire, and this is only talking about Volley Fire. This isn't even talking about merit stacks, because merit stacks are a totally separate thing. So this talks about Volley Fire once per turn, and then over here it says period, new, like I said, maybe a new paragraph, I think. When such units deal burn damage, they gain 1 stack of merit. The key does not specify whether this also gets changed to non-burn damage. Can we test it with somebody else? Is poor Ulrid just the saddest character ever? I know who we can test this with, too. The best character in the game. Second best character in the game. Nemesis. Someone who does both physical and elemental damage. So if she does her physical attack, this should give her 2 stacks from ending the turn. Only 2 merit stacks. Oh, actually, that's kind of cool. Volley Fire triggered her own attack. That's actually really good. Small little mini micro buff to Nemesis. But yeah, okay, so she only got 2. Rewind. If she does phase damage. Let me slow it down here. I need to see this, because I actually do I really like how it triggers her own prophecy mark. Oh, did the game die? No, it's good. Such a basic alt animation. That's so cool. Volley Fire? Trigger that? Yeah, okay. Still, only 2 stacks of merit from ending the turn. Guys, what is happening? Maybe the Tin Soldier's turn status is independent of the doll. I mean, once again, your guess is as good as mine, man. Because Paul says, because you have 2 keys working here. One that lets Lewis stick the Fumos on the non-burn dolls, yep, to do 1 attack per turn. And the other one to give 2 stacks per unit turn. You're right. That it still doesn't make sense, though. Right, because in that example we just did there, the only 2 stacks that Nemesis got, the only 2 merit stacks Nemesis got was from the from ending the turn, right? She got 2 stacks at the end of the turn, and you could even see this during the action while she was making her counterattack or her prophecy attack. She didn't have the stacks yet. Only when the turn was officially over did she get the stacks. So the key, this key that allows them to make the volley attacks as a non-burn unit does not seem to affect merit stacks in any way. Like the second part of this ability where it says they need to do burn damage, this seems to be the only, this seems to be a completely separate part of the ability that is not affected by that key. Okay, who else can we test this with? No, I don't want supports. I want... Trying to think of someone who gets a bonus turn that's not really a bonus turn. None of these characters. Kyohan does, but she's also fire, which is going to really confuse us. She gets extra command. Ooh, maybe who's somebody else that gets extra command? Here, Lena. Although Lena's is also kind of weird. It's not really the same. Okay. Alright, so she should get no stacks from this. Yep, so she got no stacks from that. And then, I don't know, we'll just do this. She gets 2 from that. Springfield also... Ooh. Maybe this is easier, we just use Springfield. Oh, but we got to go to turn 2 with Springfield, I think, right? Whatever. We'll just do this. This will trigger. So she gets the 2 from ending her turn. Oh, this is going to get kind of janky, though, because we're not going to be able to tell. It's actually kind of awkward to test this. Because she's going to get a double turn, but we're going to be capped, right? Yeah, because she's got 4, and she gets a free turn now, but now we can't tell if these are actually going to generate more or not because she's already capped. All right, well, this is a bad example as well. Paul says, I wouldn't be surprised if the Fumos are limited to 1 round, which is a goofy way that Mika sometimes does full turn rotation. It's very true that could be the case. My head hurts because of it. I really wish they wouldn't do stuff like this. Does Jangyu, is this an extra command? Or this is not an extra action, though. This is the same thing as Lena's. She gets movement and extra command, so it seems like a whole nother turn, but it's not. Who gets like an actual second turn? None of these other units get an actual second turn. Oh, same thing with Lind. Although if I use Lind on this boss, I think he literally dies before I get to even test the second half. This doesn't give her a second. This is another one weird, right? And we'll... Is this gonna just kill him before I can test? Maybe I can outrange him. Whatever, I don't... He won't instantly die, but we'll just, to play it safe, we'll come over to here. Sorry, one more. Yeah, so this is not actually, this is weird. This is not an extra command, nor is it an extra action. This just lets her use the ability afterwards. This is still the same everything. Oh no, blow yourself up. So yeah, she just gets the 2. Which kind of makes sense. Ikeda does at segment 1. Oh, but I don't have segment 1. Actually, ooh, I don't think you need segment 1, Niketa. I think you just need to give her Springfield's buff, right? Because this is extra. Oh, you're right. X-Men 1 is the extra action, though. But we'll find out real quick. We'll just test as long as we're here. I think this is the same thing. Commands. I think extra command definitely does not count for this. It has to be extra action. Yeah. So she ticked down 1 stack of. I lied. She didn't take down any stack. I mean, she consumed a stack of telepathy, but this is the end of her actual action, so she'll only get the 2 stacks. Okay, I don't know, man. I don't want to sit here and test forever with you guys. I know some of you are probably bored out of your minds watching me do this, but this is just the small headache that I have when I try and make guides. You know, that's all I'm saying is. I could make a general statement about like, yeah, just use these units together because that's what some guy on CN told me. But unless somebody can give me a good answer, I really don't know why you'd ever want to use Tololo. I really don't. Like, you can get multiple instances of merit stacked, but I just don't see how that outweighs, like I said, having an entire team of fire units. Like, I'm really confused. I'm going to do some research on my own now because I have to. But it is a little confusing why people were saying that she works with just units that take extra actions. Because I was under the impression, because once again, I don't have a CN account, so I didn't test this. I just saw like a 2-second video and with, you know, Chinese subtitles, and I saw Volley Fire going. And I'm like, oh yeah, and I just assumed that Volley Fire triggered after every one of those extra actions, and that does not seem to be the case. So I don't know what the hell was going on. Yeah, I just don't know why you would use, I just don't know why you'd use, yeah, a high segment Tolo. He said the only thing I can think of is, to get extra stacks of merit. That's literally it. Extra stacks of merit on a non-fire unit, because the other answer to this problem is just use a fire unit, right? Because every single one of the fire units in the game. Oh, did they add the new filter option? Yes, they did. Thank you. Thank you, game. Oop. So, multiple instances of fire damage a turn, multiple instances of fire damage. Centrisi's weird. 1 instance of fire damage, and most of the time she doesn't actually attack, so not her. Sharkery, instances of fire damage. You could use Chongju in a really janky way, like you could just alternate between her 2 abilities, Common Rail and Guide to Victory. I don't know if this would even outweigh the damage loss from just using Pressing the Momentum. She doesn't do instances of fire damage because she does instances of Overburn, but these are fixed damage, so this wouldn't count for it either. I lied, so I guess you'd have to pair with Sharkery, Vector, Kyohan, Chongju. Those are your options. The rest of the fire units don't count. Maybe DSR 50 in the future, because I wonder if I don't know if her little drone counts as separate instances, but. Whew. Wow, guys, we went for a while. I don't know if, did we cover all the stuff I needed to cover today? I'm sorry I had to submit you guys to that torture session of watching me test, but I wanted to test on stream in case anybody, maybe you guys learned some stuff too. And what else do we have? We don't have anything else to do. I really wanted to do the maybe we'll get to this next time, because I'm a feeling that this is going to take more than 5 minutes, right? Oh, how long? You know, we can do it. I'm a PNC veteran. I know how to play this game. All right, Lewis, you're gonna go here like this. Sure. Go team, go. Sure. I was reading the rule summary for this game mode a little better, and they seem to have changed some stuff. Oh, you don't get the little the professor abilities where you can like teleport units around the map. No, Florence, that's not this place. Florence, that's not a good place to stand. There we go. So I'm really hyped that they added this game mode. We were talking about this the other day with who was I talking with? I think I was talking with Shadow about this. I'm a little upset that they just kind of dropped NeuroCloud completely and they just like let it die off in the corner. But I'm okay with it if they decided... I think we should actually keep maxing that out. I'm actually okay with it if they are going to kind of use GFL2 as like the Project NeuroCloud emulator, and they just add this game mode to PNC, or to like GFL2. If they just literally add PNC to GFL2, I'm happy as a clam. I want an upgrade for somebody else. Oh wait, there we go. There it is. I'm like, I know there's got to be a faster way to do this, right? Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, no ultimates. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Let's max this. This is a little obnoxious though that it pops up so many times during our match. Almost wish they would have calmed this down just a little bit. It's kind of cool that they were able to add the entire, essentially the entire game mode to GFL2. I hope they continue to expand on this. I really don't want these. I wish they would stop offering them to me. I'll take this one just because maybe it'll stop bugging me about it. Poke says if they replicate PNC gameplay, it might bring interest to the old game. That would be awesome, dude. Well, I don't know. It's like, do you really even want to do that, though? Because then you have to have the awkward conversation of like, oh, but the game's dead. A lot of the events are missing from the, like, whatever, playback, like story playback missions. Like, you can't experience a lot of the events. And just there's a lot of stuff in the game that's incomplete. We still are missing, like, 4 characters from PNC. Oh yeah, dude, the ultimate animations are kind of a banger though, because they got like the cut-ins, like the like little anime, like 5-second or maybe less than that. Ooh, there was a new PNC mini game in Chinese patch. I gotta make it. What do I want? Do I want the croak ability? The whose is this? Starry Night Chocolate. This has got to be FNC, or oh god, what's her PNC name? The little chocolate midget. I forgot her name. I forgot her PNC name. And then this is Burning Snake. Oh, this is Nora and Zengin or whatever. Let's do Metal Suit, because I'm gonna guess that the bosses are always the tough ones. Choco, thank you. I think we're still good on durability. I think we just keep going more damage. Like I said, I'm really also excited for this because they've now set the stage for bringing in more PNC characters. I know it's like the backlog of characters that they need to get is like, they don't have any lack of choices, right? They have all the GFL1 characters, still so many characters from GFL1 that people are interested in. Here we go. Ooh, I think we want this. But yeah, there's so many characters from GFL1, which they're still getting around to. I'm really excited for G41 whenever she comes out. I want to see what they did to her design. And then on top of that, we have GFL2, like, unique characters. You've got, you know, characters like Sextons and obviously new characters, original characters like Fetusa, Andrus, etc. that are all really cool. Although the argument could be made that Andrus is really just a clone of DeLacy, but. And then, yeah, now they got the PNC characters. Obviously, everyone wants Persicaria. They want Soul. They want... Well, those are the two big ones. There's lots of other characters from PNC I would love to see. I don't know if they're ever going to get around to them, though. I guess I'm just going to give all my functions to Florence. I guess she's just going to be the powerhouse here. It's a nice event for NeuroCloud players, but I'm still somewhat disappointed. Lewis is a GFL1 character, and I was hoping an exclusive PNC character to show up. Oh yeah, dude, you're reliving the drama of when they announced this. I don't know if you were paying attention to the CN side. Everybody, I even memed on them for a while on the stream. If you rewatch whatever stream that was, they even brought back one of the bosses. Can I zoom in? I don't know if I can. The magnifying glass, does that let me? No. Alright, well, they brought back one of the bosses from Tartarus. And Tenoria. Although I know how this boss actually works in PNC, but I can't click anything. So I believe she was the one you had to soak damage as a team with. The other one, the spin to win, the red one, I forgot her name. Canias or something like that, or Canius or something like that. She was the one that was like, you gotta spread out, and this one I believe was the one where you had to stack and split damage. But yeah, anyway, so the disappointment of Lewis being the PNC character was definitely palpable, and I don't know if you, like I said, were paying attention to the drama at the time, but yeah, they essentially had to go, by they I mean Mika, had to go like damage control. And they were like, oh, just kidding. Not just kidding, but they had to clarify. They had to like come out and clarify that Lewis was just the first of multiple returning PNC characters because they needed to set up the story to make sense. Get Cluckers? Can I actually use these units? Or is it just, I think it just gives you some units. Whatever. I'll be a brain dead gamer and I won't even upgrade them. Oh, I get Jangyu. Can we do one of these? Move. I can rotate the battlefield, huh? How do I rotate the battlefield? What's the right click, middle mouse click? No, none of these. Oh my god, it's going so fast. Stop. That one. Oh, I bet you it's a keyboard ability. Yes, want some healing. No, not a keyboard. I'll find it. I'll find out which key this is. Maybe I won't. Maybe you're lying to me. Oh, see, I missed the word wonder in your message there. I actually wonder if you can rotate the battlefield. I thought you said you could rotate it, like, oh yeah, dude, you can totally do this. I just gaslit myself. It's all right. Yeah, I know. So Poke says you can. One could argue that Klukai, Jangyu, Diane, Ksenia, and so are returning PNC characters, but that's a lame ass excuse. I want to see, when people say PNC characters, they want like PNC original characters, and I'm right there with them. I want to see Olivia. We never even got Olivia in the English version of PNC, so, but she like thematically fits GFL2, right? Like she's like a she is a like military-esque type unit. And actually, you could probably finagle the reason why she shows up pretty easily, too. Because, especially with all the corpos getting involved now, in, like, the last event and stuff, you could just kind of finagle it and be like, yeah, well, you know, Savarog Heavy Industries really hasn't picked a side, but, like, I don't know, maybe now they want to get in because, whatever, Gerard Group is you know, creeping in on their space or something. Like I said, you could get creative. Yeah, everyone's looking forward to Soul and the Persicaria. I don't know which version of Persicaria they would put in though. Probably her base version. Don't really know. I guess I'm still hoping for a Car 98, so we can get some lore. Like, so she gets some lore that can't be summarized with 2 sentences on the wiki. I agree with you that they really never utilized her character much in GFL1. She was just like the poster girl for the time period, but then they just kind of like forgot about her. But now after the recent drama with this is kind of like not even recent anymore, but with the drama they had with her about like her voice actress and stuff, I'm pretty sure she's just never coming back. I mean, this is the obvious one. Mysterious Warrior Transform. Oh, this is Nessica's, right? Lilac Scent Satchel. Whose is this? Is this Sangoma's? I think that's Sangoma. Not sure. Yeah. If they have to show up in reality, they can't use magic operants to attack. I mean, just give them a gun, right? Guns are like magic. That is funny. I do wonder what kind of gun they're going to give a lot of these units. Lewis kind of got an easy one because, once again, she was a GFL1 character, so everyone expected her to have a machine gun. But you are right. What is Persicaria, or what does like a unit like Florence is a handgun because, once again, she was in PNC or GFL1. But yeah, what happens when they get a unit that doesn't fit neatly into a box? What are they going to do? Yeah, like Nora. Like, what is she going to do? Throw, like, pens at them or something? Yeah, I said, I wonder what kind of gun they're going to give Persicaria. The obvious answer is a pistol, because, like, that's, like, the default option for everyone. But, I mean, it'd be funny if they gave her, like, a sniper rifle or something. Even a shotgun would be kind of funny on her. I don't know why. They might make her. I could see a submachine gun. That one also makes sense. Dude, I'm just crushing this game mode. Poor Diane's taking so much damage, but she don't care. And we just see, this is inaccurate. In actual PNC, Diane had unlimited range. Let's just keep juicing. Dude, they really hate her. Finally, I get to actually make a choice. Well, probably this one, because it's in the purple, which means good, right? I guess as the VA controversy was also her second controversy while tracing allegations over. Oh, for Car 98, I'm like the VA artist didn't do the tracing, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, I don't know the whole both of these controversies. So the VA one was like, that one was like, it was a controversy, but for anyone outside of like the China Japan or JP beef, nobody else really cared. So like the rest of the world was just kind of looking on and being like, yeah, okay, whatever. The tracing controversy, I'm pretty sure actually ended up to be, once again, fake and gay, as they say. So it didn't. I'm pretty sure that didn't mean anything. I'm pretty sure that was never proven one way or another. And it's like it seemed like some really easy beef that people just wanted to stir up shit with, right? Like it didn't. I don't ever remember it having like any legs to stand on. I think the accusation was like, look, this anime character is similar to this other drawing of an anime character, and it's like, bro, you just described like 80% of the characters out there. Oh, so here's the character I was just talking about, Kana. Okay, well, you know, let's just hope for the best. Don't jump right here. Okay, good. I wonder if she even has the same abilities in this. Slow it down. Oh, slow it down. Slow it down. Doesn't look like she does any of the stuff. Oh, she's dead already. God damn it. Whatever. She didn't leap. In actual PNC, she would like teleport on you and then just do these spin to wins that would just blend your whole team. And she'd also put huge stacks of healing debuffs on you. Hmm. I wonder whose buff this is. I mean, this is the obvious one. Ooh, this is also good. Truth named Dawn. Whose is this? Is this... to me sounds like a Sanctifier's buff, which makes me think Eos, but I don't know who this is named after. Truth named Dawn. Not sure. We're gonna take it though. Oh, we gotta fight her again, huh? Okay. Slow it down this time. Is she gonna do her spin to win? Can't even tell if she's doing it. It looks... Can you pause? No, I guess you can't. I see stacks of bleed on her, which is what she did. That was that healing debuff I was talking about, but you can't really inspect. I think we want more healing. Oh, never mind. Game over. Oh well. Anyway, the future is bright. I'm interested to see more PNC collab nonsense. I'm interested to see more characters. More. The fans are hungry. Oh yeah, dude. I guess that's her Kaiser car skin, which is like your nickname. I'm assuming you mean for her mod 3 outfit. And it does slap. It is like, ooh, such a good design. She has a lot of good skins. Like even some of the other costumes that she got were pretty good. Or do M4A1 in a bit of a flashback. Like I said, that one's a big question mark. They kind of, I don't know, man. They kind of dropped the ball hard on the ending of GFL1. So we're gonna have to see. I know that they're like releasing the new event, which I've already forgot the name. Like it's supposed to be like the post-story wrap-up event because they butchered the event of Convolution Kernel so bad. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what that is. They still can't figure out what they're gonna do with M4 as a character. I don't know. Like I said, there has been permanent damage done to a lot of the storylines for all the games, really. Thank you, Roche Limit. There's been permanent damage done to GFL1's story. There's been permanent damage done to GFL2's story at the beginning. Unironically, PNC had like the least messed up story. It ended. It's added like a they quote fixed it and like ended it the story, like the main like narrative. And it's just kind of in limbo right now, which is fine because it was a good, satisfying ending. It was like written well. It was cool. I just, you know, we're waiting to see what happens with the rest of it. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. Oh, for M4A1, right? Like they've even hinted in GFL. Like I said, the problem was they started writing GFL2, and then they're just like, well, we'll fill in the gaps with GFL1, and then for reasons that I don't want to get into because it's a long story, it seems like they goofed that. And so now you have a weird GFL2 beginning, an even weirder GFL2 ending, or GFL1 ending, and now like GFL2 is like trying to go back and reverse right GFL1's ending, and it's getting really weird. And like I said, there's a lot of things that they still haven't like really completely, like for example, no one still to this day knows what the conditional contract that the commander signed at the end of GFL1 that just said, Lamau, you can't have any more T-Dolls. Nobody really knows the details of that. They keep referencing it in the story, but they've never actually gone into detail, probably because the writers don't even know, and because it would come off really stupid. And then, like I said, and then GFL1's ending was goofy. Like it's the characters are kind of like in limbo. M4A1 was teased as a voice in Dandelion's head in this game, but then they never explore that again. And in fact, I don't even know what the fuck Dandelion's doing in this game. She's just kind of like exists. I guess she just hangs out with Kruger. Like no one really explained where she's at. Like she just like loaded herself into a diner gate and just hangs out in the shadows now, but I don't know where her physical body is. I don't know who, like, does she work with the government? Does she not work with the government? Why are they letting a rogue sentient AI just do whatever it feels like? Nobody knows. There's no answers to any of these questions. Also, saying is very big old question mark. Nobody knows what's going on with them either. It's a disaster, dude. I don't want to, this stream will go on till like tomorrow afternoon if I just talk about the lore, but it's kind of messy. So, what else? I think we are going to wrap up there. I will do more testing. I'm gonna try and get a Lewis guide out in the next couple days. It's just that the problem is right now I have a lot of reservations about how I even want to direct the guide, right? Because like I said, at this point, I don't even know if I want to target like, what's the target of the guide? Is it for segment 0 players? Is it for segment 6 players? Is it for people who are running a pure burn team? Is it for people who want to run her in a hybrid team? Like, I don't know. I got to do some testing with numbers. It's just that I know how these things go, right? The longer you wait to release the video, the less people care. So if I wait till Sunday to test on Gunsmoke Frontline like a real boss with like real mechanics and like actual like full turns, if I put that Lewis guide out on Monday, no one's gonna give a shit. Just my 2 cents. And we might loop around back to Perry. I don't know. I really don't know about this. Especially now that I found out that, because Perry's big thing with her key is that she makes multiple instances of basic attacks a turn. But now that I've discovered that that actually doesn't trigger multiple instances of volley fire, my desire to get her has once again dropped almost to 0. So I don't know. We're gonna have to come back to this one, but maybe we'll gamble for next time. Didn't Fate 2 event have some info about the SF dolls? Yeah, I mean, little crumbs, but crumbs of SF. The reason I say crumbs is because the SF units were like big in the storyline leading up to the last big operation in the Black Zone, and then they all just kind of disappeared. In fact, actually, now that I think about it, everything past that event, Slow Shock, they just kind of like glossed over, right? Nobody knows what happened. Oh, whatever. I'm not. I said we'll be here till Monday talking about this. Anyway, we will reconvene. I don't know when the next stream is going to be. I think depending on Gunsmoke Funline this Sunday, maybe I'll do a stream Sunday night. Like I said, I don't want to make promises. I don't really want to do a stream on Sunday night, but I also need to do a video on the boss because it's a new boss and I know people are going to have questions. So I'm going to do, I don't know, where can I hang out? Bro, like, just, come on, don't be like that. Right in the middle of the room like that. We'll hang out next to Ulrid. So we're going to call it there. And just you know, keep your eyes peeled for the next stream. If it's not Sunday, which I really don't think we're going to do Sunday, maybe we'll do the following week. I don't know. This is the nice thing about not having a set schedule. Just make it confusing for everybody. I'm going to stream at like 1 in the afternoon one day, and it'll be like a weekday. Y'all be at work. I'll just suddenly start streaming. Anyway, I do feel like we are going to stream relatively quickly, though, because once I get info on Basti and stuff, I know I'm going to want to talk about that. So, but anyway, until that, we'll stop here. I've said that 6 times now, but I'm going to do it for real. I swear to God, I'm actually going to stop streaming. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. In fact, I'm going to tab it out right now. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching this in the future. Anyone who sat through this giant long video, or if anyone discovers the answer to any of the questions about turns versus rounds versus actions, go ahead, please put it in the comments for myself and for anybody else who watches this and has questions. You know, we'll get to the bottom of this, guys. We will find out. I will find you. But with that, I'm gonna do one of these. We're gonna go to this screen now, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for watching. Peace out.